In the world of high finance, there is a new arms race heating up, and the weapon of choice? Artificial intelligence. Banks are pouring billions into AI, but who's actually pulling ahead in this really high-stakes game?
So who is really winning this AI race as we look towards 2025? It's not just about who's spending the most cash. The real answer, it turns out, is a lot deeper. It's about genuine AI maturity.
And lucky for us, we actually have the answer, thanks to a brand new global benchmark. We're pulling all of our insights today directly from the 2025 Evident AI Index, which is the most comprehensive look at AI maturity in banking you can find.
And they do not waste any time. Right off the bat, you can see JPMorgan Chase and Capital One are just in a league of their own, with scores of 79 and 78.1. Then, look at that huge, almost 20-point drop to number 3, RBC. This isn't just a race, it's a complete breakaway by the top two.
So, let's meet the AI leaders. At the very top, it is a clear two-horse race, and the competition between them is only getting more intense.
But it's how they're winning that really tells the story. You've got JPMorgan Chase just dominating, number 1 in innovation, leadership, and transparency. But then there's Capital One, who's number 1 in talent, which is the most heavily weighted category, by the way, and they've managed to cut the gap with JPMC in half just this year.
And don't get it twisted, this isn't some side project for these guys. This quote from JPMorgan CEO Jamie Dimon says it all. He's asking his team, are we doing enough? Are we doing it right? This is a C-suite, board-level, top-of-mind priority.
So, how does the index actually measure all of this? Let's peek inside the leader's playbook by breaking down the report's methodology, what they call the 4 pillars of AI maturity.
Okay, so the index is built on these 4 pillars, but they are not all weighted equally. Not even close. Talent is the absolute giant here, making up 45% of the total score. That tells you right there that people are the most critical asset. After that, you've got innovation at 30%, then leadership and transparency.
So talent is the big one. And we're not just talking about total headcount here. The index looks at both the volume and, this is crucial, the density of AI and data employees. Basically, what proportion of the bank's total workforce are these experts? It's all about how deeply this talent is embedded in the company.
And the investment here is just staggering. The AI talent pool across the 50 banks in this index grew by 25% year over year. The report says this is the biggest spike they have ever seen. Everybody is scrambling for the same top AI minds.
But, great talent needs the right environment to really shine. And that brings us to innovation. This pillar is all about the long-term bets that create a real competitive advantage. We're talking patents, academic research, and strategic investments in AI startups.
And when you look at the data, you see a pretty clear geographic dominance. U.S. banks account for a jaw-dropping 89% of all AI patents, 67% of research papers, and almost half of all venture deals. I mean, this isn't just leadership, it's a massive head start.
And finally, you have leadership and transparency. Leadership is all about whether the C-suite is driving a clear AI strategy from the top down. And transparency, well, that's all about trust. It looks at a bank's commitment to responsible and ethical AI. You can't just build cool tech, you have to lead and govern it too.
So with that whole framework in mind, we now get to what might be the most critical finding of this entire report. The leaders aren't just winning, they are accelerating away from everyone else. The gap is getting wider, and it's happening fast.
The data here just makes it so clear. The top 10 banks improved their AI scores by an average of 7 points this year. Now, compare that to the bottom 10 banks, who only improved by a tiny 1.3 points. The rich are just getting richer.
Let's put a hard number on it. The leaders are improving 2.3 times faster than their peers. This isn't some gradual separation, okay? This is a rapid divergence that is completely reshaping the competitive landscape.
But all of this raises a really fascinating question. Does this mean the race is only for the giants? Let's turn the spotlight for a second on some of the smaller, more agile challengers out there.
I mean, does that sheer size and a massive budget really guarantee you're going to win in the long run? Or could a more nimble, more focused player actually outmaneuver these titans?
Well, the report's shadow ranking gives us a pretty cool answer. While a lot of the disruptors are struggling, take a look at Ally Financial. This is a digital-only bank, and they're performing in the second quartile, competing head-to-head with the top 20 global banks. They are punching way above their weight class.
So how are they doing it? Well, this is their playbook. Ally is incredibly strong in those leadership and talent pillars. They have that high density of AI developers we were talking about, kind of like Capital One, and they've made a huge public commitment to responsible AI.
This quote from their Chief Information, Data, and Digital Officer just perfectly captures their whole philosophy. Innovation stalls without the right mix of people. For them, it is all about the talent and the culture first, not just the tech itself.
So, what does all of this really mean for the future of banking? We are literally watching a completely new competitive landscape form right before our eyes, and it's all being driven by this massive technological divide.
If there is just one thing you take away from all of this, please let it be this. A widening AI maturity gap is creating a new elite class of leaders, and these leaders are pulling away from the rest of the industry at an accelerating rate.
And that leaves us with one final, kind of provocative thought. As these AI leaders keep accelerating, using their scale, their talent, and their data to create this powerful flywheel effect, is the banking industry actually heading towards a winner-take-all future?